Welcome back to my channel, and if you're new here, my name is Sylvia and I make videos on planning with the occasional review. Planning has always been my way of working out problems and solving the day-to-day issues in my life. Join me as I experiment on how to best tackle projects, figure out how to stick with habit tracking, and celebrate the wins, both big and small. So grab a cup or a glass of whatevs and let's get on with the video. Hey planner friends, I have been trying to film this video for 5 days. It is November 1st. This is my November setup. Okay, here we go. This is a pocket apple pig. You see that? It's so dark in here. I'm sorry, but it looks like it's gonna snow again. Ugh, Colorado weather, why? Beautiful, beautiful. Now this has a lot of texture. Which you know I'm not a fan of, and it's also a very stiff leather, but I have grown to love this little notebook. I have. And so I should say before we start this that at the back there used to be a pen loop, which I cut off because the way it worked was to sit in between the front and the back of this little guy, and it fit just so. So if you didn't have the right number or amount of notebooks in here, it would kind of buckle and drive me insane. And it didn't tuck back there as nicely as I wanted it to out of the way, so I cut it off. I lost it one day and cut it off, and I think that's true. I didn't go back to watch the video to see what I said about this, but you know, if I'm wrong, I'm wrong, but I think that's what happened. Also, before we get started, I should say that one of my favorites amidst the gray just had a happy birthday again. I went and wished her happy birthday on her channel. If you haven't checked out her channel, I highly recommend it. She's so smart and funny. I really enjoy her, and she is the person where I got 10-day planning from. Also, SJ Dreams of Peace, her channel is awesome. I highly recommend it, and there has been a conversation I think amongst the planner community for a while now, but I'm bringing it up since it is almost 2025, and I know there are people that might have making a planner channel part of their goals or their resolutions for 2025. So here's the thing. There is a conversation going around about aesthetics and having aesthetically pleasing videos. And the truth is, for me, I will watch your videos as long as it's somewhat lit and I can see what's going on and I can get kind of a gist of what your planning system is. I will watch your channel. Like, I don't care if it's not beautiful or that you don't have lovely handwriting or, you know, stickers. I don't care about that more than I do about your system and how I can apply that to mine. Yes, it is true that I am trying here a little bit by adding things, and I bring this up because I tried to film this video for 5 days, and part of the problem was I just bought a new table from Amazon. This is it. It is a dining room table that was pretty inexpensive, just because I wanted a wider table than the desk that I actually have right now, and that meant taking all of my system filming situation apart and redoing it. And so one time the video was out of focus because I forgot to hit some things and do some stuff. The other time it was slanted because this is so wide that the shelf that I had set up to put my camera on, because this is a DSLR, was no longer wide enough because the table was so wide I was sitting too far back. So it's been a journey, y'all, and we're 3 minutes into this and I've talked nothing about actual planning. Anyway, it is what it is. So I just wanted to say, if you are starting a planning channel in 2025 and you see all the aesthetically pleasing videos out there, don't worry about it. We'll find you if you have something great to say. I promise. Okay. I'm looking forward to seeing you, and I hope to see your videos soon. So let's get started on the inside of this. So on the inside, I have some ephemera, and I just keep it in here because I'm more likely to use it. Honestly, I had a box of this where the lid was on it, and apparently that was too much for past Sylvia, and she was like, no, I'm not going to open that lid. So I took off the lid, and that worked for a little bit, but then it was like over too far away from me, so I moved it closer onto my desk, and that worked for a while. But then I just stopped looking at it and using it. It just became background, I guess. And so when I put this in my actual notebook, I tend to use it more. Here I have this pocket, which I think we all had some of these at some point. These are those dollar spot pockets. I don't even know if they make them anymore. They're square. I cut this down. There is no what they call nape or little fuzzy wuzzies on here for it to stick to, so it pops up a lot. But usually if I push it down, it's okay. I thought about putting glue on here, but I was like, I like the fact that I can remove it when it irritates me. It's only been 5 days and it's okay. I kind of just push it and nothing happens. So we'll see, but if it does, I can pull it off and it's not that serious. So that's where we're at right now. There are 4 notebooks in here, and these are all Moleskine because that's what I had. I do enjoy Moleskine. I will let you know that as far as my memory goes, I think that Moleskine tends to hold highlighters and, you know, like mild liners and the Tombow markers a little bit better than Field Notes does. So if that's something that's important to you, definitely be thinking about that. Let me know down below if you feel like that's true, because from my memory, I think it is. And that's probably why I had a bunch of Moleskines left and no Field Notes. I do enjoy Field Notes because you don't have to decorate, you know, the fronts of them. You can get them already decorated, which is kind of awesome. But if you do like to decorate them, there are those kind of, you know, standard boring covers that you can get to do that. You guys have seen before, I've had it in other pocket notebooks. This is just, you know, giving all of those wintry vibes with the sweaters. And I put it behind this white vellum just because it pops a little bit more when it's against this black notebook. You lose a little bit of the detailing. So I do love this. And my first notebook, dun, 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 is collections. So here's the thing about collections. I should use the index more, but since I just started this, I really don't have it together yet. I have a little bit of a to buy list here and things like that, but these are just those random things that are not anything that are actionable per se. For instance, there's some things like this. Okay, so I am a hot mess when it comes to my actual playlist. I will make a playlist of like the 4 songs that I like to listen to for that month, and then I will listen to them on a loop. When it's done, I don't delete that playlist. I just make a new one. So I have like a million playlists, and they're all the songs I don't listen to anymore. And they're not songs that are like, okay, this playlist is based on a vibe or something. It's just like, these were the 4 songs that were kind of in my brain at the time. And so I really need to go through and write some of them down, and some of the playlists I want to keep and arrange that. Because right at this point, I'm that stupid person that at every stop sign, I'm like going through my phone to pick a song, which is just so stupid. I just need to find the time to get it together. And I did use this guy here. So this is the Hobonichi Weeks stencil, and it goes to 12. So I think I numbered all of these books up until 12 because that was about as much as I could do in one sitting without having to get annoyed that I'd have to rearrange the numbers to work. So I am using that down here because it's the smallest numbered stencil that I actually own, and that is really working out nicely. So if I do want to at some point, like if the spread fills up, I could go ahead and put like a little arrow to where the next page is and put the number next to it. So threading is a thing. Right here, okay, this is an artist that I thought was really just phenomenal, and she ended up getting stamps made, which I think are beautiful, and I can pick them up and show you how they look a little bit closer. Just beautiful and lovely, and I believe this is wire, and so they always remind me of what it looks like when you drop ink into water. Do you know what I mean? It's just wild. And I know what you're thinking, you're like, why would you put stamps to decorate? Those are stamps. And the truth is, I'm a shit pin pill. Okay, I thought I could be cool because saying that you write letters, especially lovely letters to people across the country or the world, it's really cool to hear, and it sounds like something that would be fun, but it's really not. It's like not the type of writer I am, and it's not what I want. It's just like another chore for me. I mean, I love you guys, but you know, send me a DM or a message because I'm not going to be a person who writes letters. I don't mind getting them. I'm probably not going to send you one back. Thank you in advance. Okay, so my second notebook is project pages, and sometimes I just like to work this stuff out on the page. Currently, I am just making a little list here of all the stuff I needed to buy for my niece's science fair. And, you know, so stuff like that works out really well in here for me. And then, of course, I will add on here like some thoughts and feelings of what she wants to do. Because she works mostly with blood typing, where you have to like prick your finger and find out your blood type and some other things. You have to do it in like a sterile environment with a teacher watching as part of the rules for science fair. So it's just stuff we would have to schedule. So therefore there is a little bit of planning that has to happen. And I also have like this little tab here, which is kind of funny because it's my YouTube video ideas and scheduling. And yes, you can put that in book number 1, which is technically a collections, or in book 2. Then I moved it into book 3, which is my actual planning, because I wasn't even looking at it over here. But here I was. I don't know how to answer that for you. Like sometimes you just know something works in a different place, even though it's, you know, a project or a collection. I mean, I don't know. I don't know about the brain. Anyway. So here, book 3 is my actual bullet journal. I'm adding some little stickers in here just because I have them and I want to use them. So again, don't feel pressure to go out and buy stickers. I'm just trying to shop my shelf and use the things that I have. Now here, this is my bullet journal setup for my monthly. So I have like this monthly list here, which is things to schedule. And this is my last time list, which I thought, like in my brain, it made more sense to put it here. Now that it's here, it's really like, it's too like smushed. So this probably will end up being a collection instead. And then I might actually at the bottom here write down what page in the collections notebook this is in. And you know, it's okay. It's okay to write something down somewhere, decide that it doesn't work, and then move on and try something else. You have permission given to you by yourself. And then we go on to my monthly to-do list. So my monthly to-do list is more like a large project or a large thing that needs to be broken down into smaller bits, or sometimes I have to wait on other people. So it's like you have to wait for a certain amount of time before you can move on to do the next thing. Also, these are little trackers for my writing. And then this one was something I decided, oh, this is like a weekly thing. Why did I do a whole tracker for a month? So I put washi tape over it. And then I forgot to get a pen that I could use to write on washi tape so it wouldn't like come off and rub onto this page. But yeah, those are working out fine. We are on November 5th, in case I didn't mention that. And I do have a writing session scheduled after I make this video for like the millionth time. Hopefully this one will stick. Then we go on to my Alastair method style situation here. And this is the thing. This might look like, what does all of this mean? So basically, once again, I am using the Friction pen. This is the Friction Zone, I think it says technology on it, and a 0.4. So the great thing about the Alastair method is it does not discriminate. It doesn't care if this task you only want to do once in the week, or if you want to do it multiple times, 7 days, or only 3. So I have the full week here, the 1st through the 7th, and I have this column for signifiers, but I'm also using it to check off things, as well as putting certain things, tasks that I want to do for a certain amount of time. So you see that I have 3 days, 3 times here, and then 4. So that works out really well for me. Yes, it would be nice if I could just, you know, group these into, oh, these are all the 7 days. This one's all the 1 days. But I just like kind of wrote this out, kind of having like a little bit of a brain dump here. So for the next week, I might be able to do that a little bit more. But again, it doesn't matter because it's very versatile. So don't worry about that. I do have a line here and a line here. The reality is I thought that this first top part was all I was going to need for this list, but yeah, I was wrong. I was like, wow, this list is longer than I thought. So something else was going to go here, and I just have not been bothered to erase this line or this line. So these are no different than this. It just extended. Over on this side, I have my to buy list. And I also have my to do for the week. And this is, don't worry, but that's just about a project, so it doesn't really matter. I'm going to put more things on here because I have my regular shopping list, but then I go through and I yell at people and be like, okay, what is that one thing you really, really want for the month? Maybe like for last month, it was Jay. He wanted bagels randomly. He was like, I really want some good bagels and some cream cheese. And I was like, okay, cool. And I can't remember. Jade wanted, she wanted something. Oh, she wanted those peanut butter crackers. You know, the ones that are orange. Like, why do we add coloring into crackers? I don't know. Just to make them stand out, and children are like bright colors. I want to eat them. I don't know. Well, that's what she wanted. So I just like add on to that list here. Meal planning, you guys, I tried to plan this out in advance. It just does not work for me at all. So basically what I did was last night on Monday, I wrote down broccoli here for Tuesday because it doesn't matter what we make as long as we eat broccoli with it because it's going to go bad. And so, yeah, there is like a couple of boxes before this and I don't know why I was doing that. I was like, if I needed to check things off, I have a column here. So I moved back over and now it looks wild. And this is because I forget, because for a while I was using a regular pen that I have a friction and I can erase things. Did I do it? No. Am I going to? Probably not. But it's nice to know that I can if I wanted to. Now we're moving on to my vocab spread, which I really missed and I wanted to put back in here because here's the thing. Once I get to 2025 and I start to compartmentalize everything and I'm like, this needs its own notebook and this needs its own place and this needs its own blah, blah, blah. I fall off on things. So I try to start strong altogether and then break off into things that I feel like really do need their own notebook or section or system. So vocab in here, paradoxal, sounds like a dinosaur. I know. And I wrote this over here, which is actually part of this. I should probably put an arrow that way so I know. Just because after I read it and I was like, okay, yeah, I remember this, but I never remember to use it or anything like that. So I wrote down a paradoxal statement, which is you have to spend money to make money, to help remind me about it because I think it would be interesting to talk about in a book. Okay, so here we are to my 10-day planning. So this is really great and works really well in a pocket size because I don't have like a monthly calendar in here. I'm not a super fan of drawing them out because it's so teeny tiny in here. I have larger handwriting. I feel like I'm not going to get it together. At this point, if I wanted to, I could turn it this way and see if there's enough squares to go like this. But for right now, I don't think it's that serious because I do have my Google Calendar. My phone's always with me, so I can check that at any time. And having this little note here allows me to have, 10-day planning. So it's the 1st through the 10th, and this is the early month. And I have everything that's scheduled on my Google Calendar for right now on here. So I get to carry it with me and not have to worry about folding a larger piece of paper, which I could totally print out a calendar, write on it, fold it, and tuck it in the back. And I might do that at some point, but for right now, this is working just fine. This little sticky note's back. It's been a while. So back in the day, I used to keep this, especially in my Hobonichi weeks. And this would just house like what I was reading at the time. So currently I have 2 audiobooks that I am going to be working through and then a physical book. Now this is a reread for me. I'm reading this because I'm writing a looper. This is a looper book and I kind of just wanted to see what percent of the book goes by before the author actually starts the day over because it's different in a lot of different books actually. And so I'm interested because now that I'm starting to chip away and condense the book and get to the real heart and the meat of what I want the book to be, I want to kind of know where mine's going to fall. And then behind here, this is the same old stuff I've been using with the 10-day planning. This is what Amidst the Gray also uses, and I like this better because remember before I was using those date stickers and they were just not working for me. They were giving me anxiety because I like the idea that if I'm sick or I don't want to plan in here for 2 days, I don't have to. And now I feel like I can do that and I feel less pressure. And it just so happens that every day this month, because we are on the 5th, I have planned in here. But yeah, I was just using those because again, I had them and I was kind of like using my stash and shopping my shelves. I do have one thing I forwarded over here because this was covering this and I wrote it here. 2 things that are still open also on Friday, and that was calls. Now Friday it got too late and I didn't get any answers back, so Monday I was busy. So I'm going to sit down after this video and take some time to call and try to get these things scheduled. Normally I don't even bother. Like if it's on this side, I don't even rewrite it, but because this was covering it, it was giving me irritation, so I did. You don't have to do that. It's not part of her system. Absolutely check out her channel. But all of this is working for me. It hasn't changed at all. Yeah, I did have to, I don't have the squares next to me. I had to cut off like 2.5 of these little squares to make it a little bit more narrow in order for it to fit in a pocket size. Oh wait, maybe I do have them. So here's one. Yeah, so it stuck out about 2 squares, but then if you didn't cut a little bit more, it kept snagging every time I folded it and it was getting bent, so that annoyed me, but still had plenty of room to write on this here. And then I joined the BAC, which is about, I don't know why that doesn't just say high school. I just like was afraid I couldn't finish high school here. There we go. Which is about accountability and talking about people who are habitually tardy and absent, and, you know, trying to get some thoughts and feelings on how we can change that. And in the back here, this is where I moved my YouTube ideas and schedule because that worked better and I looked at it more. At the back of notebook 3, oh, I should show you the front. I forgot about this. I have this. This is cute. I made it all by myself. So here's the thing. I got some material because you guys know how much I love butterflies, and I'm not even sure at this point if these are butterflies or moths or both. I can't remember. But I loved them, and I see these always in planners, and I think, oh my god, that's so annoying. That would drive me insane. I don't think I could handle it. So instead of buying one, I made one just to see if I would even like it. And actually, it's kind of cute. I enjoy it, and it's not, you know, hurting anyone. I enjoy it, and I'm thinking now I might want to buy one. So if you know who makes these, or someone you know that makes these that are enjoyable that you have, let me know down below and I might check them out and get one, because I mean, I really do like mine, but it's just like so simple and I want one of the fun ones. All right, so these guys, people might ask me about, I did have to cut them down because these are just like cheap, inexpensive stickers. They're not meant to be serious. And I think I ended up getting them either on AliExpress or Amazon. You might be able to get them at both. But it was kind of printed kind of crooked, so I had to straighten it out in my paper cutter. So they're a little bit thinner here, which is okay. I like these because they have a filter on them and they remind me of the time of year we're in right now, which is technically fall, dying into winter. And so I really love them. And they're very simple, fun to look at. Remove that. On the back here, I just have these already made out for mid-month and late month. I was using... Where is it? I don't know. Did I keep it in here? Here. This guy. And because it's kind of like thin and bendy, it bled. You can see there, this one might be, yeah, you can see it on this one a little bit more. Because I wasn't holding it down enough and there wasn't any weight, it was bleeding through on the bottom of this guy, which is kind of sad, but it is what it is. And I don't care. As long as it's functional, it doesn't really matter. Once I start writing on it, I really just don't notice as much. This I made some years ago, and I found it when I was looking for all of my traveler's notebook stuff, especially for 2025, all of my standard stuff. So this I made out of very heavy, and you can actually buy the weight as heavy, what are these called? Project protectors. And I used some washi tape and washi taped them together to make a little sticker book, which is really cute. For my, I think this is passport size. And I've had them for a really long time, so I started using them. And a couple of stickers you've seen were from this. And again, if I carry it with me, I tend to use it more. So awesome. I love those. And my last book is also Moleskine, but it's not the one that you can buy in the standard pack of 3. This is the one you buy in the pack of 2, and there's more pages. I'm not entirely sure what it's called. Maybe I'll flash it on the screen if I can remember. I want to say it starts with a V, but I can't remember. There is a difference in pages. These are thicker for sure. So this is just my reading journal, and right now, currently, I just have the books in the front that I am reading at the start of November. This is Sci-Fi Mystery Book Club, and this is one that I'm reading because I am critiquing a person's pages. I've actually finished her whole book now. And she has referred to this author in this book before as one of the things that she was trying to go for in her novel. So I'm reading this currently. It's fun. And the interesting thing is it's a dual POV. And because the main character, one of them, she has amnesia and the other one doesn't want to share his name because maybe they're spies or FBI. You don't really know when they first start the book. It was interesting to me because the POVs, instead of them saying like his name Larry and her name Brenda, it just says him and her. So it's like chapter 4, him, chapter 5, her, which I thought was really cool. There's a lot of times in short stories where the main character or the narrator does not have a name. That's a little bit more rare in books, and obviously at some point we're going to learn their names, but I just thought it was fascinating that they started it out that way, and I thought it was kind of cool. Sticky notes here. This is from Traveler's Company. I think this was from 2019, which is funny. And luckily this one's one that doesn't actually have a number on them, but some of them had like the date, and I was like, oh, Sylvia. Because I was just like, you know, hoarding my stickers, and then we're no longer in that year, and I look stupid if I put it on now. And this is some freebies from Sterling Ink. It had some knitting on there, which is definitely the weather we're in, so I put them there hoping that I will use them. The same with these stickers. And then I have a journaling card that has some large post-its and some small post-its that I can use throughout. And I always laminate these so that I can stick stuff to them better. I put this on here to keep that there so it would look pretty instead of this boring stuff since the sticker pockets aren't working all that great. I did have, hold on, one of these on here, but it was the smaller version, and I'm not sure what the heck the deal is, but these, I don't know if it's this one, but the smaller ones definitely, they leave a residue behind so much that it was like stuck on here, and I was like, you know, planning on this new desk and everything, and it was just, it had like black marks everywhere. Luckily they wipe off and everything, but even on like paper, like if you're to attach paper onto this, it'll leave this annoying residue, and it just drives me absolutely bonkers. I don't know if you can see on here. You can kind of see there the marks that it leaves, and it looks darker in real life. You're probably like, Sylvia, there's nothing there, you're freaking out, probably. But I swear, like on here you could see it just hardcore. It looked like I took like, you know, charcoal or something, and I was like, I don't understand what's happening. But that is my setup. Hoping to stay in here for the rest of the year. I have plenty of space, I think, to be able to plan and stay in here for the rest of the year. And I just kind of wanted to do a pocket, you guys, before I move up to a standard size for 2025. Note the difference here. And so I just feel like go small now, get it out of my system because these are dated, and unlike these where I'm just bullet journaling everything in here and I can just make up the dates whenever I want to, I just thought this was the time to get it out of my system. And the great thing is that Amidst the Gray is also in a pocket. I just watched her video this morning, and I was like, what? She's in a pocket? This is fabulous, because I just love her. And so I'm excited to see what she's going to do with these smaller pages, and hoping that I can find stuff from her video to take and use in my own system. So be looking for that, because I will be too. All right, so don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. I hope this was helpful. Thanks for watching, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye.